Good morning, beautiful people of the world. I'm Chris Rotondo,
I'm Tom Grady, not Brady.
and here is our pilot episode of the Breakfast Nook.
Hell
And
yeah.
before we get into anything crazy, me and Tom kind of just want to lay down what the Breakfast Nook is and what we want it to be for the future. So as of late, we are a podcast slash talk show where we're going to mainly discuss sports, current events, and overall just lifestyle stuff for all you guys to enjoy.
Absolutely. We're going to obviously put out an episode every week. But once we pick up some steam, more will come. We hope to have some guests, some special appearances. I mean, maybe some big names coming in. I don't know.
Exactly. Um, this was made for, solely for the enjoyment of you guys, just to have a good laugh or just get some solid knowledge when you want to start up your day. And we really hope you guys enjoy.
Absolutely. I'm excited. Listen, when you pitched me this idea, I was like, dude, I've always been wanting to do a podcast. I mean, I
Yeah,
got to go on your podcast when you put that up. So this is
yeah,
exciting.
exactly. I kind of felt myself in the ground running there. I was like, I can do something, but like not this, And then I was like, do it with Tom. Tom's a cool guy.
Yeah, listen, hey, we got to work together over on RNSN for our high
Exactly.
school. That
Back
was
in the
like the
day.
start. That was the beginning of everything.
Back in the day. What's that? 2 years ago now?
2 years, man.
Crazy, man.
God, and I'm in college. You're going into college.
Yeah,
Like, dude, I'm
exactly.
so excited for you, man.
Love to see it. All
But hey,
right, now
listen,
let's
let's get this going.
yes, sir. Let's kick it into the weekend review.
So obviously, we're recording this on January 1st. So welcome to 2021.
Exactly. Welcome to 2021.
This is exciting.
Exactly. But with new beginnings, we have to, kind of acknowledge what has happened in the past week. And let's start in the media side of things. Um, major, one of my personal favorite underground rappers from the past around 10, 20 years, MF Doom, has passed away. It seems like his wife kind of kept it under wraps. In the note that she put out, it said transitioned from October 31st, meaning that is when he passed away. Obviously, cause of death is still unknown or, may never be known. They might want to keep that, to themselves and all that. And Tom, I know you might not know much about that, but MF Doom, he was, a great rapper and a great, mind for the people of, especially kids that like 90s kids. He had a major impact, but I don't really want to, shed too much time on the sad times. Let's move on from that.
I gotta say one thing about MF Doom. I really didn't. I knew about him. Like I've always seen, like obviously his mask and all of that. I never
Yeah.
really listened to his music. But before the podcast, I was like, you know what? I see it on the topics. I'm like, I have to listen to something from him. So I ended up listening to 3 songs. I know. I don't remember the names of them, but I just
Accordion.
remember just listening, and I was bobbing my head, enjoying it. Like it was a lot of fun listening to his music because it's all like 90s, the beats that he has, the
Yeah.
like just the flow that he progresses through. I mean, I'm a big rap guy. Like I'm like all over the place with music, but rap is like been like my number one for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And just listening to that, it just like it like I could see like that like his songs being in like early 2000s movies and obviously
Yeah.
late 90s movies, and
Mm-hmm.
it made me happy. And especially the beats he has, like it wasn't like hard like any like choppa beats or little
Yeah. Or
baby
like
beats.
it
It's like
was it was good rap, like rap before rap became like I'm not saying that what people put out now is bad. I love the music now, but
right.
it's different. It's different from what it is now. It
Right,
was good to see.
absolutely. It's like that Wu-Tang, NWA,
Yeah.
like that stuff. Like that was, I mean, listening to it, I was like, I'm gonna listen to more of this guy. Like I can't
Exactly.
not.
Yeah.
But
All
like you
right.
said, let's get away from the bad news. Let's start about something funny. Obviously, last night, December 31st, the newest way to go into a new season. Obviously, there was no big crowds in Times Square. It was kind of just a normal night, to be honest. And I mean, they started all the festivities like 30 minutes beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
And Jennifer Lopez comes out to knock in the new year. I mean, we saw her on, the Super Bowl last year. She looked great with Shakira, but
Yes, she did.
she comes out last night looking like a whole Christmas tree.
Yeah, that was interesting.
That was something, man.
It was interesting to say the least. I wasn't watching that much of the TV last night. I was spending some time with my friends, playing some pong with the boys and all that.
Of course.
But I don't think she should ever sing "Dream On" again. That was brutal. That is what I heard. I heard that. I didn't want to see it. It was bad, man. It was bad.
All I know,
if you're Jennifer Lopez, don't try and replicate Aerosmith. Like
absolutely.
it just doesn't match, does it? Like,
dude, I'm telling you, when I heard it come on, I got so excited. I was like, oh my God, she could belt it. I was like, Jennifer Lopez, she could do it. No, she kind of like held back. And I was like, what is this? This is not good. And
it wasn't, man.
Like the whole set, like, I mean, she started off on like a giant, thing where I literally thought she was just on stilts and she would be there the whole time. And I was like, it's Jennifer Lopez. She's going to start stripping. Yeah. And she started to do it. I mean, she had that mask on. She had like the giant tree look. Then she comes off of this pedestal that she was on. And by the way, it was a whole jacket. Like once she threw it off, it was gone. Like it wasn't like a part of the pedestal. Mm-hmm. And then she starts singing and she slid across the stage when it came to Dream On. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you like? Bad. And A-Rod's in the audience was like, oh my God, so inspirational. Oh my God, that's my baby. Like, no.
That way they lost the Mets bid, I think.
Dude, that literally J-Rod or A-Lo, whatever you want to call them.
Oh, lucky.
No, that was not. And I'm so happy. Listen, I'm so happy he's not the Mets owner. But listen, just to start off 2021 like that blew my mind. And of course, the first kiss you see on TV was them two. Yeah. So, I mean, it wasn't like we got away from it. And plus, it was the only act of the night. I mean, they started the show 30 minutes before the ball dropped. So it's like, it's tough.
Yeah. You hate to see it.
You hate to see it.
All right. And lastly, in our media section, The Office has left Netflix. A lot of people will be, pretty upset. Personally, little hot take here. I don't find The Office funny. I never have, just not my cup of tea.
Wow.
Tom, what's your take?
Listen, I've never been like really into like those sitcoms of the early 2000s. Like I never got into like any like Friends or The Office. I've always been like, I would always like watch like Netflix originals. Like they're always great. Yeah. But I mean, I had a soft spot for The Office. I never like watched it thoroughly on Netflix. I never got through like I tried to. I got through 3 episodes and I was like, it's not my thing. Yeah, but don't get me wrong. The Office definitely set a lot of TV shows that we see today off. Like they
it set the bar.
Yeah, they really did. Steve Carell and all that. The entire group was phenomenal. But like I said, like I was never big into it. I laughed a lot of the times. Like I would see it mostly when I used to work at the movie theater. Like in the break room, we always had it running. Like there was not a time I would walk in there and I wouldn't see The Office and everyone to deal with it. But I enjoyed a lot of the episodes. Like when I was watching it and sat down, I enjoyed most of the episodes. But like again, Netflix taking it off, that is a big hit for them because, if you ever look at teenagers nowadays, it's literally The Office, Friends, or 70s Show.
Yeah, and exactly.
It's just those 3 shows that really like keep the kids coming back to wherever like the streaming platforms. And I think all of them are on Netflix.
Yep.
So it's like
3 are on Netflix. That's kind of their big. Those are their 3 big revenue spots.
Exactly.
But I think have they taken Friends off?
Not yet. I don't think. I could be wrong.
Oh no, didn't they? Remember when they people like signed a petition or something to keep it on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's still on. But like I mean if you look at it, they're still on. But they're still on. But if you look at like what they have, like it's down to the 70s Show and Friends. And The Office was just like that perfect, like whenever the girl came over for the Netflix and chill, you throw it on and then you get down to business. But
they do. They love The Office.
It's The Office. It's once in a blue moon type show, and to see it getting off of Netflix kind of blew my mind. And we all heard it coming, but it came a little quicker than we thought because of this crazy year.
Yep. All right, now let's head into some sports. Good stuff.
Absolutely.
All right, bowl games. Notre Dame versus Alabama in the Rose Bowl. What's up?
Right now, Notre Dame, I mean, as we're recording it, it's 4:48 on New Year's Eve. Notre Dame is down 14 already to start. The game just started. It's still the first quarter. And
Yep. So I guess that answers the question. Can Notre Dame finally make a splash in the playoffs?
listen, I'm a Notre Dame guy. I've always been a Notre Dame guy. I've not been like a bandwagoner. Obviously, I don't like the fact that they were in the ACC this year. I like the old rivalries they have with USC, Stanford, all of them. But they made they made a really amazing move when they moved to a conference. They went 9-0 in conference play. Then they lost to Clemson in the championship. And obviously, they beat Clemson earlier without Trevor Lawrence. Obviously, that's the little asterisk that they have to add.
Yeah.
But, again, they really made some strides this year. Ian Book has been phenomenal. They have a great rushing offense. But to back to Ian Book, he's got a great passing mind. The defense has been impeccable. I mean, obviously, there have been some slip-ups in the first half of games, but Notre Dame is normally a second-half team. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if they want to make a move in this game, they're going to have to step it up, especially against Alabama. Alabama's 11-0. I mean, they've always been a dynasty, especially with Nick Saban at the helm. And
Nick Saban.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones. Do you think he can solidify his Heisman Trophy with a big game today?
I don't know. That's the thing, because obviously you have the long-haired freak over in Clemson.
I honestly, man, these past 4 years, I've been a big Trevor Lawrence guy. I just love how he plays. He is one of the greatest college quarterbacks of all time. And if he doesn't win a Heisman, I will be shocked. These 4 years. Who won it when in these past 4 years? Lamar. I know Lamar won one.
Let me look this up. I know that Lamar won one of them.
Burrow, Baker.
And then I don't know who won last year. I gotta see.
No, it was a Burrow last year.
Oh yeah, it was Burrow. You're right. It
was Burrow last year. 2 years ago was
Kyler
Baker?
Murray.
Oh, it was Kyler Murray.
Yeah. So it was Burrow, Murray, Mayfield, and Jackson the past 4 years.
Yep. Huh.
But again, right now the Heismans are to be honest, I know that Alabama has Mac Jones, and I think they're running back in the running.
Najee Harris?
Then I think who?
Najee Harris?
I believe so.
I want to say he might be in the running. I'm not sure.
I think he's in the running.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, you have Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence, and then some random kid from Florida. They just have to throw him
Kyle
in there.
Trask?
No, I think it is Kyle Trask.
Kyle Trask is a stud, man.
He's a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong.
Actually,
what are you going to say?
They got blown out.
Yeah, I think.
Was it Oklahoma or Ohio? Yeah, it was Oklahoma.
It was Oklahoma, yeah. They got killed.
55 on them.
I mean, listen.
The man threw 5 interceptions all year and then throws 3 interceptions in the first quarter.
He looked like Eli. I'm sorry. Giants fans, I'm sorry. He looked like Eli Manning. But
Understood.
Listen, I mean, Alabama, the entire year, the past 5 games they played, they've at least, over 40 points for them.
Mm-hmm.
So, coming into this game as a Notre Dame fan, it's not the greatest outlook.
Not at all.
Especially coming to see what they did against Clemson a couple of weeks ago, and they lost completely. And I thought they were going to be out of the playoff, to be honest. But I was happy to see them actually in and had a shot. But against Alabama, Nick Saban, Mac Jones, it's tough. But to get back to the point of, is Mac Jones going to win the Heisman or solidify his Heisman? Hopeful. I don't know. Again, if he has a phenomenal game, let me see what his stats are right now. He's 8 for 9 with 97 yards and 2 TDs. That's how you start a game in the first quarter.
It's efficient. He shouldn't have closed out early.
He really he's just trying to get Notre Dame out of here. Sweep them up. Let's go to the national championship.
Finish quick and move.
Yeah. But speaking of Clemson and Ohio State, can Trevor Lawrence keep up his historic college career this game?
Honestly, man, I hope so. And I'm very glad that the Jets do not just no longer have the first overall pick. They suck. I hope they keep sucking forever. I don't like the Jets. I'm a Giants fan. Just don't like the Jets at all. They
can't believe they lost those. They won the 2 games.
They can't even win right. Come on, dude. But back to the topic of solely on Trevor Lawrence. I really hope he can, honestly. Like I said before, I personally believe he is one of the greatest college quarterbacks of all time. With his stats, he only has, one career loss?
Yeah, and that was in the
Natty.
Yep, the Natty.
No, tough.
Especially to Joe Burrow, though. Like, that's
Yeah, Joe Burrow is also again up there. Well, I mean, not across 4 years. Obviously, he only started in one or two.
Right.
But I think Trevor Lawrence, again, one of the most. He's notorious for the nice orange locks, like our good pal Tom over here. But he is honestly, I really hope he could, keep up his college career. I hope they win the national championship again.
Yeah, like obviously, being in the ACC this year, I have to root against Clemson. Like Dabo Swinney, Trevor Lawrence, ETN. Like I can't like them, but when we're out of the ACC championship or ACC conference, I've always been a Clemson
cool guys.
Yeah, like obviously I hate Bama. Like I think everyone and their mother, it's like the Dallas Cowboys with like college football. Like no one likes Bama unless you're from Bama or you're a psychopath.
Yeah.
But like I'm like when they beat Bama the first time with Deshaun Watson at the helm, I lost my mind. I was like, it's finally over. Like they don't have to.
That game was crazy,
dude. The ending too with Hunter Renfrow going to the side of the end zone. I was like, oh my god, it's finally they win. But I mean, obviously, Nick Saban, he's a god. He's going to lead his teams to this every year.
Yep.
And I mean, I'm looking at the matchup for tonight for the Buckeyes and the Tigers. ESPN has given the edge to Ohio State by 4 decimal points.
That's bold.
It's a 50.2% chance that they're giving Ohio State to win.
That's bold.
But again, Clemson, if they beat Ohio State tonight and Bama beats Notre Dame, Clemson is my team. Yep. I'm not rooting for Bama in the ship.
Understood.
I can't, just morally. But
do you think you feel that Ohio State should even be there? Considering the shortened season and all that, they only played what, like 6 games?
6 games. They're 6-0.
Texas, I feel like Texas A&M should have been in there too.
That's literally my exact thought. I thought A&M should have been there. Especially, I know what were they? They're 8-1 or 9. I know they had one loss on their schedule.
If you can't keep your players healthy, that's not that's not other teams' problems.
The conference, the Big Ten conference, it's not our fault that you guys started late. Yep. Like you decided, hey, listen, we're gonna start late because we're scared of COVID. NFL didn't start late, and the Ravens have had COVID more times than I can count on my fingers. I mean, so I definitely think Justin Fields definitely deserves a chance, but I don't know if this was the correct year to give him that chance.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely feels like Ohio State was just put there because, they're Ohio State. They've always been a good team. And obviously with a shortened season, we couldn't tell their full potential. I mean, if you look at Justin Fields' stats.
Ohio State, please. Thank you.
Sorry. The Ohio State. Sorry. Ezekiel Elliott, please don't come ramming through my door.
Ohio State.
Yeah. You guys are so cool. But Justin Fields, 1,500 yards in 6 games. Listen, that's impressive as all hell.
That's good. It's good shit.
Again, 6 games. It's not a lot. And don't get me wrong, Big Ten Conference this year was not that difficult to move through. I mean, Michigan, Michigan State, they were not that great of teams. But listen, more power to them for being there. I mean, obviously they showed something in the season that got them there, but it's out of our hands now. The board put them in. It's nothing really we can do. But do you think they could pull off this upset tonight?
Part of me saying yes, but it's not gonna happen. Maybe this much chance. I give it like 5%. Trevor Lawrence has been too dominant these past 4 years to lose his, one of his last games to a subpar Ohio State team. Definitely yes, they're good, but I just think Clemson are better in every aspect. Dabo Swinney, Trevor Lawrence, they've put together this dynasty over the past 4 years.
Absolutely.
They are valid. I think they are going to win and hopefully win the national championship.
Yeah, I can't see an upset tonight, Ohio State Buckeye fans. I really can't. Don't get me wrong, great program, but I think the Tigers are all in. Dabo Swinney.
Yep, all in.
But yeah.
All right, let's transition over to our hard hitters for the day.
Absolutely.
And we're going to start off, with a non-sports related thing, just being that we got off of some interesting college football. 2020, it's over, it's done. What can we see in the new year? Let's see.
I
Tom,
see
what are we saying?
I see more COVID, obviously, to start off the year. I hate to say it, but it's inevitable. Like, I mean, obviously, I wish last night it said after like the ball dropped,
Yeah,
this
just
is
boom.
conclude the 2020 trial. Thank you for
It's
participating.
gone.
Yeah.
It's all over. You're good.
I've been exposed on Monday. So I'm getting a test tomorrow. I'm seeing if I got sick. So we're about to find out.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I had it back in February when no one was talking about it in the States.
Dude, me too, bro. What, in January, like I had the flu, Christmas break,
Mm-hmm.
junior year. And then January, like mid-January, I come down sick again. I'm like, no way, I got the flu twice.
Yeah.
I go to get tested, negative flu test, and I felt like crap for a couple days, and then I felt fine. But I had a nasty cough, and I was like, I don't know, man. Like it was just hard to breathe. So I was like, okay, that's a little odd. Might just be something viral. Just, move forward. And then all this COVID stuff started kicking up, and I'm like, holy shit, I might have had it. Like,
Right.
And there was my now ex-girlfriend's brother goes to NJIT, and he was telling me back a little while ago how there was like a mystery illness going around that same time, where same thing. People were just. I'm thinking it ran through us before we even knew what it was.
I completely agree. That's what happened with me. Like in my dorm, it literally went from because I was in a quad, so I had 4 people. It went from the one across, like there was like a wall. So it was my room was fine, and then the room across from us, that was the one that had COVID. Well, we think we had COVID. He gave it to my roommate who was out for a week. He didn't go to classes for a week. He couldn't get out of bed. He was like exhausted.
That's tough. He got it bad.
He got it horrible. And I looked at, like, every time I woke up, I looked over and he would sound just congested and just really like he was coughing a lot. Now, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, all right, I haven't gotten it yet, so I'm okay. But President's Day weekend rolls around and I'm on my way home. And the day that I was leaving, I'm on a train and I'm like, I'm feeling so like.
Yeah, it's like that one clip. It's that one clip. What's his name? Oh my God, Idris Elba or something?
Yeah.
The actor, when he's on Hot Ones, he's like. What
the fuck? Dude, I was on that train ride, and obviously I'm hearing COVID, on the news. I'm hearing like all this like murmurs, and I'm wondering like I don't want to get anyone sick here, so I'm like in my ball, like on the window, just like. And
now today you can't even cough in public without people being
dude, if you even sniffle, people are like, whoa, hey, you buddy,
get tested immediately.
But no, so I get home,
grow some thicker skin.
Yeah, facts, like literally just relax. So I get home, I am completely just wiped from the day of traveling. So I wake up the next morning and I'm like just dead, like I am so out of it. I come downstairs, I sit in my chair the entire day. Like we have a recliner, I just kick that back in the entire day.
Lay there and just suffer.
Literally. So then 2 days later, it's obviously still President's Day weekend. 2 days later, I go down, I'm feeling a lot better. My dad and I, we go down to the driving range, and I get there, and obviously the driving range near us is near the outlets. Yep. And the outlets have Nathan's, and I'm a big Nathan's advocate. Nathan's, if you want to sponsor us, please. I love your hot dogs and fries.
Nice Franks.
Gladiator right here.
Nice Franks. Pause. All right.
Franks! Get the – no. Yeah. All right. Anyway, I'll keep that comment in mind.
Yeah, go on.
So I hate mustard. I'm not a mustard guy. Ketchup all the way. I was like, Dad, I can't taste or smell anything. Let me have like a full thing of your mustard. So I grabbed my fry. I just like put up like a dollop of Daisy on that. Ugh. And I just chucked it in. Nothing. It was just a cold like material in my mouth. I didn't know what it was.
You definitely had it then, because that sells it. Because some people get it and then they can't, they could still taste and smell. But like if it's like if you get it, if you can't taste or smell, it's like you have it.
Exactly. And it was so scary. Like I was like, am I gonna get my taste back? Am I gonna get my smell back? But we got it back. I'm okay.
I mean, being a
Yo,
Cowboys fan, not much taste of the game.
hey, whoa, buddy. All right, listen.
Losing.
Just know, on Sunday we're about to whoop some giant ass. Okay.
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay.
so that's how
Well,
the 2020 started for me. But after that, obviously it's over. It's
I
finally
do.
gone.
You honestly, man, again, beginning of 2020 obviously sucked, until around halfway, a little after halfway, August, everybody started,
Especially in
picking up.
Jersey. Jersey, we started to open up a little bit.
Yeah.
I got to
Um,
shoot weddings again. I got to do like my stuff. I found a job.
yeah, doing what you like. It's a good time.
Yeah.
I feel you. Yeah, no, honestly, man, I feel like this year was a big learning year. You learn to make do with what's given.
Mm-hmm.
And with 2021, I hope, obviously I hope it's a little better, a little, a couple less celebrity deaths and hopefully just more good vibes.
I
All right.
completely agree. Chadwick Boseman, Wakanda forever, baby. I mean, he was my
That was
guy.
sad. Yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
Enough with the sob story from 2020. It's over. We can move on. Now let's move on to some more sports and
All right.
forget college football for the time being. Let's head over to Major League Baseball, which should be back up on track in the normal, I think, April, they said.
Yep.
But right now, the only thing we can focus on is our hot stove that is going on. First of all, piping hot stove from the Padres.
Jesus Christ. Snell, think about it, right? Once this has never happened. Blake Snell, Yu Darvish, both Cy Young contenders this year, both signing with the Padres within like a 2-hour period.
Fact.
The Padres just loaded up the best bullpen in the league in 2 hours.
Their rotation is disgusting. And
Gross.
forget the rotation for a second. This is what they've been needing. They needed these at least two pitchers that are somewhat decent. That's what they were looking for.
They had
Not
Shemet.
two not AL, but just Cy Young Award nominees. No. I mean,
all MLB, all pro team, like all pro players, man.
Yeah.
Like they're the real deal.
I couldn't believe it. When I saw this on my phone, I was like, okay, cool. They got Snell, obviously the last image we'll see of Blake Snell in a Rays uniform is getting pulled on Game 6.
Yeah.
But they they gave up a lot of prospects. I've never heard of them. However, 5 prospects is 5 prospects. That could be your future.
Especially they're high level prospects.
Yeah, Padres have a great farm system.
They're not little schmeatheads. They're actually decent.
Mm-hmm.
And Yu Darvish too. I don't think they got much for him.
No,
I don't think the Cubs got much. I think I can go to Chipotle and pick up my signature order and get more of more sustenance than what the Cubs got for Yu Darvish.
I swear to God, I couldn't
kind of a hard
believe
game.
it.
Cubs got fleeced. Yu Darvish, he's obviously not as young as he once was.
Yeah.
But he came off having he had like 2 bad years in Chicago and then had this monster, granted only 6 games, but a monster season. Was he sub 2 ERA?
I want to say he was around 2.
Or he was 2.1 or 2.
I want to say, yeah. I mean,
Filthy.
I'm telling you, man, like, it's the one thing, if you look on anything MLB right now, it's like this Yu Darvish, Blake Snell trade that happened. Like, it is one of the craziest things that I've seen in, like, a long time. Yeah. I really, I was so surprised by it.
Speaking of trades and, high-level players moving around, DJ LeMahieu, Trevor Bauer, George Springer, those are 3 big names still, undecided on where they want to be. Where do you think they're ending up?
As a Met fan, bring them all there.
Steve Cohen's trying, dude. They're putting in a bid for everyone. Them and the Blues are putting in bids for everyone.
Yeah, okay. Realistically,
honestly, man, I love DJ. I really do. I want him to stay. I'm saying Cashman, give him a blank check and say write whatever fucking number you want. I don't care what it takes. He is a fantastic player. There are good players. Yeah. There are great players, and there's DJ LeMahieu. I think he's one of the only players to ever win the batting title in the AL and the NL. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think you're right with that. I want to say
he won it with Colorado, and then he came over and he won it with us.
Exactly. I mean, DJ LeMahieu is like a once-in-a-lifetime type player right now. Don't get me wrong. He has been really good for like a couple years now, especially when it comes to that. Like, he led the league in average last year. Like a 305 average again. Oh, wait, no, that's his career. But he had – what was it? He had a 364 average last year.
Mm-hmm.
And he really, like, he has been just on a constant grind. Like, I don't know what it is about him. He has honestly been one of the best hitters I've seen in a while. Like, him and Mike Trout, those two are always like right there with each other. And
Agreed.
having an infield type player like him, especially, he could literally play anywhere. I
Yeah,
mean,
he has played everywhere.
that's what I
He's
mean. Like,
played. He's literally played the entire infield for us. I remember in that the Astros series before COVID. When they caught cheating and whatever, and
Oh
Altuve,
yeah.
boom, right off Chapman's slider. Yeah, that was brutal. I remember he was playing first base. He was playing it well too. Like he was playing better than whatever first baseman we had at that time. I think it was Edwin Encarnacion, Luke Voigt.
Yeah.
Luke Voigt before Luke Voigt blew up and became this stud.
Yeah, that's another guy that's really like you guys lucked out with him.
Yeah. But enough DJ. Obviously he's either going to be a Yankee, a Met,
or whoever wants to give him that,
or,
whatever he's
probably a Dodger. Like the Dodgers just get everybody apparently. So
honestly,
wouldn't surprise me if he ended up there. All
but
right, next
Bauer,
up, Trevor Bauer.
I believe. I want him. Obviously, I think he's down to two teams right now. It's the Mets and the Angels.
Really?
Now,
I can see him on the Angels.
Yeah, it's his hometown.
Him and Shohei.
Oh my God.
That's a good link.
It's obviously his hometown. LA, he's been, he wants to go home. He wants to be, at like, and obviously he won't have to deal. He would be a good fit for New York media because obviously New York media is the toughest media out there.
It's tough. It's hard. It's hard to translate when you come to New York. That's why, that's kind of the stinger when you come to play for the Yankees or the Mets. Mostly the Yankees, personally, I feel.
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
In terms of media, Yankees media is brutal. Like, you come here and it's either you play one game, you have a shit game, it's like, you suck. Clark Schmidt, perfect example. He's our number 2 prospect. We bring him up. He's supposed to be this great dude. People are expecting him to pitch like a no-hitter.
Mm-hmm.
And he shits the bed brutally. And they just toss him aside. Like, well, he sucks. We're riding the Jasson Dominguez train. I'm all for it.
Listen, he came up with a vengeance, Dominguez. I'm not even kidding. But
he's good, man.
To Bauer, though, I think he would have been a good fit, or he could be a good fit because it hasn't happened yet. He could be a good fit in the New York media with his whole momentum brand and his vlogs that he's been putting out. Obviously,
and he's a douchebag,
dude.
But respectfully.
Listen,
like he's a funny dude.
He is hysterical. I think he's one of the funniest. He's obviously the best personality in all of baseball, I believe.
I think early on in the season, before the season even ended, he's teasing like every team.
Yeah.
On social media, like, I would love to pitch in New York, the Yankees.
Yeah, exactly. He would literally just cause a ruckus in every fandom. He's like, White Sox fans, how do you feel about this?
He's shaking the waters, man. He's a funny guy. Honestly, I would love to see him. As a Yankees fan, I would love to see him end up with the Mets. I really wouldn't care, Like,
just bring him to the NL. Bring him to the NL. I mean, he wasn't red. Don't get me wrong.
We have to play him.
Yeah, then you guys are screwed. But bring him to the NL East. He has definitely a better chance of winning the NL East, especially with DeGrom, Syndergaard, Stroman, and David Peterson, who's coming up, the lefty.
That's a solid rotation.
Those 5 would just be a 5-headed monster, especially with Syndergaard coming off of Tommy John. He looks like an absolute god. If anyone has seen the videos, listen, just oil him up, put him on the front cover of Sports Illustrated. I don't think any woman would mind.
I'm so gay, man.
Listen, Noah Syndergaard is worth it, okay?
Thor, the god of thunder.
He's immaculate. But honestly, right now, Trevor Bauer, Angels is my look right now.
That's your pick? I'm going to go out on a limb and say he ends up in New York.
Dude.
New York Mets.
Don't get my hopes up.
I know. George Springer, though, lastly. Honestly, he'll probably end up in New York.
If George Springer ends up as a Met, Trevor Bauer is going to the Angels because he can't deal with any Astro.
Understood.
So, I mean.
I honestly never liked George Springer because he's an Astro and also because, he hits all right, but, I just kind of think he sucks personally.
I mean, he's on and off. Him and Correa.
Yeah.
But I'll say this though, he would be a phenomenal pickup for the one spot in the lineup, especially for New York.
Yeah.
That one spot has been tossed around like it's nothing. Like it's Ahmed Rosario or Jeff McNeil or just a random, literally it could be anyone that Luis Rojas wants to put in.
Yep.
But George Springer has been a dominant one hitter for like 3 years. And I don't know if it's because of the camera out in center field and the trash banging, but
You never know.
you never know. I mean,
Exactly.
listen,
It's like
I don't
getting
think
the Phoenix.
trash banging leads to home runs. That's all him,
Unless
like
you're Jose Altuve.
unless you're Jose Altuve and you have a wire. But listen,
Championship goals.
George Springer is again, he's a solid player and he's definitely a good pickup for the outfield, especially for the Mets, because I mean the outfield is so scattered. We have Dom Smith in right field or left field. Like he's a first baseman, guys, or put him as the DL or DH.
I can't really see him landing anywhere else but the Mets, solely because, I've been paying a lot more attention to the DJ and Trevor, saga, because that's my player, DJ, literally one of my favorite Yankees, good guy. And my pick's the Mets.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to find any other team that's as again, like you said, the Blue Jays. Interested. The Blue Jays. I mean, they might
are also putting out for him.
But right now, it's the Mets.
All right. And lastly, in our MLB hot stove, are the Indians going to trade Francisco Lindor, and for what?
That's a great question, Christopher. I'm happy you brought that up. I don't know. I really, at this point, obviously the talks are going to start up again because we're past the holidays. Obviously, it's been kind of like a dead spot for the past week because, we just had Christmas. No one really wants to do work during this time. But I don't know. I mean, obviously, if any team wants to get Lindor, they have to give up a good amount. I've been looking at the hypotheticals for the Mets, obviously, for Lindor. And I'm looking at it. They want to give up Rosario, JD Davis, people like that. And I'm like, they're definitely talent, but giving up two type of players like that is tough. Yeah. And
it's hard. It's hard to, if you're trading multiple starters away for one starter, you have to fill that hole quick.
Yeah.
And, it's tough. I personally don't see them trading Lindor. I feel like it's just going to be hard for them to find a deal.
Yeah.
That is even enough,
I mean, I know Lindor wants out.
Yeah.
But it like you said, it's really tough to find a deal for his talent.
Yeah.
Especially for what the Indians are going to want in return.
Yeah, what they're looking for what they're giving up. It's just, I don't think it's going to work out. I think by the start of the season, Francisco Lindor will be a Cleveland something.
Yeah.
Whatever the Indians decide to become.
Yeah, right. The Cleveland baseball team.
The Cleveland baseball team.
But it's the same thing. But before we move on really quick, it's the same thing with Arenado. Arenado wants out of Colorado, but to give up
he's wanted out for a while.
Yeah, he's been wanting out for the past 3 years. I mean, they gave him a max contract. Don't get me wrong. He's making bank, but he wants out, and it's tough to find a replacement at third base when you have a platinum glover over at third, and you have a phenomenal hitter in there, the 3 spot for Colorado. So it's tough to find someone like that to replace that hole.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Let's
move on over to some NBA action that finally made its return after the Lakers winning the chip last year in 2020 in the bubble. Obviously, good for them. Obviously for Kobe and, the Lakers fandom.
Cementing LeBron's legacy.
Absolutely. He just literally can go to a team and be like, you guys want a chip? All right, cool.
Yeah. All right. Let's kick it off. Start, of course, we're only 5 games into the season, but the Hornets are young guns, man. I love LaMelo Ball, dude. I do. I just love the way he plays, man. You think his game's going to translate?
Listen, so far, I think it will, because it's not like he's coming out of college where he had college talent. Don't get me wrong. College talent is probably better than Australia and wherever Lithuania talent. But he knows already coming into this season and this team that he's probably going to be one of the biggest key role guys that they have.
Yeah.
Who else do the Hornets have? They got rid of Kemba. He's out.
Miles Bridges,
Miles Bridges. I mean, they're all names that are
Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, Gordon Hayward. Well, they did pick up Gordon Hayward. That was a big pick. But
they have a young team. That was a good veteran pick.
Exactly. But the thing with Gordon Hayward is that after his leg injury with the Celtics, I haven't heard his name. I only heard his name when he was at Jazz.
I don't think that was a talent signing. That was more of a mentor signing, because they have a young guy, Miles Bridges, playing small forward, power forward area.
Right.
I think he just wants to mentor him in that sense, because Miles Bridges lacks what Gordon Hayward has.
Right.
So I think they want to round him out as a player.
I mean, so far right now, I'm looking at the stats for the Hornets. 24.5 points per game for scary Terry Rozier.
Love Terry Rozier too.
And
Solid
that's
player.
another. That was a good pickup because that they could definitely
Yeah,
they
that was
could
like 2
use
years
his
ago,
point
yeah.
guard.
Or last year they picked him up and he started.
I think so. I
Good
want to
player.
say,
I personally
um,
love Terry Rozier.
dude,
I like the way he plays.
he has been. I mean, listen, when he was on the Celtics, he was always like a really good pickup or a good player. He was a
Yeah, he was
defensive
hot.
threat.
He was hot off the bench.
Yeah, and to have him as a starter right now over LaMelo, those two point guard duos right there. I mean, that's like just like a walk in the park for them. I mean,
Yep.
you look at any other team right now, they don't really have that 1-2 punch at point guard. I
Yeah.
mean, you have Curry in Golden State. You have who else? I don't even
Russell
think
Westbrook and
Russell. I mean,
Milwaukee.
Kyrie Irving over in Brooklyn. Like, it's no 1-2 punch like LaMelo and Terry Rozier. So if they
Yeah,
could
it's like
keep the ball
it's
in
like
their hands, we're fine.
yeah, that's all that matters, man.
Yeah. But again,
Um,
like you said, the Hornets, they're young. They're looking good. I know they're 2-2 right now, but
yeah,
they look solid. And what LaMelo Ball is putting out for the team has been pretty outstanding, to say the least.
I think LaMelo's gonna age like fine wine.
I agree.
You know, obviously he's young, he's raw right now. You know, but as he learns how NBA basketball works, he's gonna become a great player. I personally think he'll be better. He'll be better than Lonzo.
100%. I agree with that. I don't think Lonzo. I mean, so far, what is this? Lonzo's third, fourth year.
Yeah, Lonzo's dad killed his career. LeVar actually shut up with LaMelo, and look, he's getting some stuff done.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to be a Ball right now unless you're LaMelo. I mean,
yeah, tough. He's balling.
But and now let's move over to another East team now. The Cavs. The Cavs have Colin Sexton, and obviously they just picked up Darius Garland off the draft. I mean, is Sexland gonna work in Cleveland? I don't know.
Sexland, we love it, dude. That is my favorite nickname in all of the NBA. Sexland. That is great.
Forget the Splash Brothers. Forget the big
Sexland.
three in Miami. Sexland. Like
Sexland. I love that backcourt, dude. Honestly, man, Colin Sexton has, kind of he's finally, fitting into his young bull suit, his young bull shoes.
Yep.
He's got heart, man. He's one of the hardest working players I've seen in a long time. He's different,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He's a hard working point guard. Darius Garland's just, a stud. I personally think he's going to be very good. Maybe not rookie of the year, kind of, caliber, but he is a solid player now, which for the future, I think this Cavs team will have a high ceiling.
Oh, yeah. Like you said, like we were literally just saying this like in the last segment, the 1-2 punch at point guard. This might be the only other team.
Yeah.
Colin Sexton and Darius Garland.
Point guard and shooting guard right there.
Yeah.
They're valid.
I mean, they're both leading the team in points. Garland has more assists right now. He's leading the team in assists. But like you said, they have a very high ceiling this year. I mean, watching them play against the Knicks was kind of bad. I don't know what was wrong in that scenario. But, well, I mean, again, like you said, though, these two players, I mean, Colin Sexton's finally finding himself in the league. I mean, it took him – I mean, he was a rookie last year, I believe.
Yeah, or 2 years ago. I couldn't tell you. But
yeah, I know he came from Bama, and I know that in Bama he was incredible.
Yeah, he was great in Alabama, but he was struggling to have his game translate. But I'm glad that he's finally, fitting in, and he's kind of finding himself, like you said, in the league.
Right.
And I think they're gonna make some noise in the next, from the next year or two.
Mm-hmm. And especially like
good.
you wanna as a Cav fan. I mean, I'm not a Cav fan, but as like for the Cav fans out there, you have LeBron leave for LA, and then your team is dead. Like Kyrie's gone, LeBron is gone. Like Kevin Love is your only man. But
go.
you want to you don't want to go from a team that won a chip in 2016 to literally nothing 4 years later. Yep. Or 5 years now. Welcome 2021.
That's exactly what has happened.
Exactly. And you hate to see it like that. You hate to see things like that unfold, but it happened for the Cavs. And right now, with the two young talent, Garland and Sexton at the point guards, they could really bring some talent into Cleveland. I mean, who wants to go to Cleveland? But listen, you never know. Yeah, I mean, like you said, the ceiling's really high for them. I mean, as MJ would say, but
the floor, the roof is the ceiling.
Yes.
All right. Or the ceiling is
Yeah.
the roof. Some fun quote by Michael Jordan. Very smart guy.
Absolutely.
I personally think, yeah, and I don't know about this season, but if not this season, next season, I could see them being like a solid 8 seed.
Yeah.
But I don't want to spend too much time on that. Let's move over to the Knicks. Just the Knicks. I'm a Knicks fan. Love the team. They actually don't suck. Like, they don't
Dude.
suck that bad.
I couldn't believe it. They could have gone over 500 for the first time in forever last night.
They don't suck, man.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Julius Randle, triple-double, God. He's running the floor like it's nothing.
Dude, Julius Randle has been a solid player for years, but he's come out the gates running this year. He's looking for something. I don't know if he's looking for out.
He's sick and tired of being the journeyman in the NBA. He's sick and tired of getting traded. He's like, all right, New York's my home. Screw it. And now he's putting up work.
He's taking over. He's putting up big dog numbers. And I think we have potential, man.
Bro.
RJ Barrett is finding himself. He's starting to become a solid player. You know, last year he had kind of a rut, an odd year. Obi Toppin ain't no stopping.
Facts. Obi Toppin is popping. I know he's injured right now, but in his games that he played, not forget Obi for a second. Emmanuel Quickly.
Yeah, he's solid too. We made out very good in the draft.
We finally made good draft picks.
Yeah. Like, it takes a long, we've had our fair share of Frank Ntilikita's or Kevin Knox's and all that, but I think this year we made out very good did we draft him or we signed him?
Both of them, Emmanuel Quickly and Toppin. I think we got them like 9 and 10. I think we had those 2 picks.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I'm telling you though, I mean, I'm so excited. I mean, Toppin was the player of the year in college hoops last year.
Yeah.
And Quickly, he was the SEC College Player of the Year or something along those lines.
Yeah.
I'm just
Where
so
did he play?
excited.
Seton Hall?
Seton Hall.
We picked
Seton
up
Hall
that
and then
guy.
Toppin played at Dayton.
Well, no, the guy from Seton Hall, Quickly. We didn't draft him.
Where did he come from? Oh, was he undrafted?
He was undrafted, so we just signed him. It was a good pickup.
Oh, okay. That was a great pickup.
The Knicks made smart moves, man. And obviously I love Obi Toppin. He's a New York native.
Yeah.
And he's just looking to bring New York basketball back. And I was very, very elated to know that he fell to 8. I was watching the draft, and I was like, no way this motherfucker falls to 8. But he did. And I was like, wow.
Dude, I couldn't believe honestly, when I saw that, he was like the player of the year, he was like the next Curry in Dayton. I mean, I was shocked, dude. I'm like, this kid fell into our hands.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I would have liked LaMelo, but Obi Toppin is something else right now. And
he's good,
again,
man. He's gonna be good.
The whole starting 5, I think, Barrett. Now Dennis Smith is a role player.
Yeah, right.
When did that happen? Barrett, Mitch is still a god. He's blocking everything that comes in the paint.
I like Mitch Robinson.
Dude, Mitch is the boy. And Reggie Bullock.
Yeah, Reggie Bullock too. He's not bad.
Dude, he's popping threes like it's nothing. Obviously,
another journeyman.
Yes.
We picked up a lot of them, man.
And Nerlens Noel too. I mean, Nerlens is kind of okay right now. He's got to make some ground up, especially when Mitch is like your starting center.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to play for that center spot in New York right now. Mitch Robinson is looking like the guy for now.
Oh yeah. And the thing I would say though is that it's tough obviously it's been tough to be a Knicks fan for the past 12 years. It feels
the past since 1973.
Yeah. I mean, the only time you could be happy as a Knicks fan was when Patrick Ewing brought you guys to the championship.
And was I alive for that?
No, I wasn't either.
Sick.
But obviously this year, 2020 started off, kind of weird, going to the bubble, coming back with no fans in the stands. It's kind of a weird year. And, the Knicks is a weird team. So
yeah, it's interesting. Like, you wouldn't expect this team to be able to function well, but they're doing it, and I'm living for it.
It's all like it's the camaraderie, because it's not like these. It's like I told someone this the other night. I was like, it's the exact same thing that happened with the Vegas Golden Knights. It feels like the Knicks are an expansion team. They're getting everyone that was like neglected the The
The
misfits of
Misfits.
the NBA.
The
Yes.
misfit toy, the island of misfit toys, man.
And that's what the Manhattan Island feels like right now. I mean, forget Brooklyn. I mean,
Honest truths.
KD and Kyrie, good for them. But right now, having the misfits and they're clicking. Obviously, last night wasn't the best night for the Knicks. They couldn't buy a basket. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
they couldn't make any.
everybody has bad days, though, you know.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you can't be perfect all the time, but
Exactly.
definitely there is some hope in the Garden. And I'm excited to see how they continue to progress through this year.
Agreed.
Hopefully they could sneak in at the 8th seed. I don't know. I'd like to see some playoff Knick basketball, but
I would love to see that as well, you know.
you never know.
Maybe by then, fans will be able to be in the stands. I can buy myself Knicks playoff ticket.
Absolutely.
That'd be sick.
I'll join you right there, buddy.
That'd be sick. All right, man. It seems that is all we have to cover for our first episode of the Breakfast Nook.
Dude, I loved it.
Me too. I had a great time. I hope you guys enjoyed just as much as we did. Hope you guys learned something or, you know, got a nice chuckle out of something. And other than that, Tom, you have anything to say to close it out?
Stay healthy. Stay positive. What's the saying? Stay positive, test negative. You know the vibes.
Go. Stay positive, test negative. That's a funny one. I like that. All right, boys and girls. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. And be sure to tell a family member you love them. All right, y'all. I'm Chris Rotondo.
I'm Tom Grady. Stay safe, guys.
Signing off.